game plan.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, the guys who they're wrestling are probably maybe even better than them. They just know how to play the game. Yeah, and Ferrari wrestles on his knee half the Angelo Ferrari wrestles on his knee half the time.
Yeah, you want to.
But it's just it's playing the game. Picking up like AJ does, picks up the leg and takes him out of bounds. It's not necessarily stalling. Being on a knee isn't necessarily stalling. You know what I mean? They know how to play the game.
Yeah.
They know how to play the game.
That's one thing from freestyle I think could be brought over to folk style. Like, I don't think going to a knee is a bad thing, but if you're staying on a knee for like longer than 3 to 5 seconds, it's like, okay, dude, get up.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? You get in a stance. Everyone else has to do it.
Yeah, I think there should be something done about that.
Anyway.
About people hanging out on a knee too long.
Anything else about national duels?
How did Iowa look in the finals, you think?
About as good as they looked against Iowa State.
Yeah, Iowa State was
Not very good.
They did not look good. Well, so they had.
It's just a down year for Iowa, which is unfortunate because I'm kind of curious how much money they're shelling out to a lot of these guys that are not making an impact on their team.
Are you upset at all with the state of Iowa being a lot of transfers? I honestly, before NIL, I figured they would be the last team to adopt this style of NIL, but they're probably one of the most effective at it. You know what I mean? I figured that they were kind of like the blue-collar, hard-nosed guys who were going to like just walk you down and not want to take any transfers and build guys throughout their program.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I would have thought that they would be more of that mindset, like develop their own. I do think they are developing some of their own, and I do think that – and I heard Flo talking about this. Like, if you can get a Zach Ryder in a transfer portal, why wouldn't you want to?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So it's like I can't really blame them for getting transfers, for shelling out money to get the transfers. It's like, because if we could get them, we would, right?
I want to be very clear that I think that he's being a good coach. He's getting the guys in the portal who are dogs, but something's happening where they're not necessarily performing. I mean, Nasir Bailey and a bunch.
I think they're changing their strategy, but in how they get kids to come there and who they're trying to go and get, they're changing that strategy. I don't think they've really changed their strategy on how they train.
Right.
And I don't know if it's necessarily a good mix with the athletes and the state of the program.
I think the way that they run their practices is good for the diamond and the rough guys to build and develop, but I don't think that the way they run their practices is necessarily great for guys who are already pretty good and have built their skills at a different program in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, we can say that because of the results. I don't really know much about like how they run their practices.
Yeah,
genuinely. So
well, we could have a good guess.
That's what I mean. Like we can have a guess based off of like the results of the kids that have transferred over. It's like even last year, Parco, kind of a letdown. You know, like
very much a letdown.
And I think the same things happened exactly with Teamer. And it's like, okay, now it's continuing with Jordan Williams. Doesn't look like he is nearly ready for any type of national competition. No. Same thing with Nasir Bailey. Looks overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, but then there's guys like Caliendo who they assimilate very well.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe it's not so much just about getting the names and the guys. It's about getting the guys that match the program that can excel once they get there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be like Coach Wick here for Iowa, but I think that you look at a guy like, if you're going to transfer to an Iowa, you really got to be of the mindset of like the hard-nosed wrestler who wants to develop their skills. I think there's some guys who are transferring to Iowa who are very talented and want to be good at wrestling, but maybe they're just maintaining. And I don't think Iowa's a great place to maintain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's a decent statement, so I can't really contradict it.
Dean Peterson's looking great. So
I think he's one of those guys that can like go over. He's that hard-nosed Jersey kid, right? He came from Rutgers. There are certain kids that have that mindset that are going to excel there, and they do.
And I thought I would see it out of Nasir Bailey. I thought Nasir Bailey at Little Rock was like, oh my, this kid's tough as hell. He's at Little Rock of all places, being an All-American. Like, shout out to Little Rock. They run an incredible program. They had 2 All-Americans. They weren't even a program 6 years ago. But Nasir Bailey came from that program, and it just looks like things aren't really panning out.
Who's the last slickster you saw compete well at Iowa?
I wouldn't even know if I call him a slickster, bro. He was good on top. That's not slick. He's a good single leg, and he's good on top.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know.
But so anyway, the duel starts out. Younger Bastida gets the win over Ben Keeter. Ben Keeter didn't look great.
Yep.
Younger Bastida did look very good, but he looked tired early. It didn't seem like Ben Keeter had anything for him. Then Dean Peterson comes out and gets the win over Steve Pullen. Great match.
Good match.
Yep, good scramble at the end.
Yeah, that was a good scramble. I thought he was dead to rights there for a second, and he continues to wrestle.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Great.
it's definitely a great win. Looks very impressive. He's a bright spot on Iowa's roster right now.
Yeah, and then Evan Frost comes in and just adds insult to injury for Drake Ayala, who's taken a few losses, and beats him pretty good, 11-5.
It was a good match for the most part, and then that he chose neutral in the third period rather than going down. Ayala did. Gets taken down in the first 20, 30 seconds. And it's like, you got to be thinking, oh, shit, at that moment. I just made the wrong decision.
Yeah, Frost just looked great. He looked very dynamic in that whole match.
Very effective in his finishes, too, in that third period, which really kind of blew the match open.
Yeah. So now he's one of the contenders.
They got Ayala at 4 and Frost at 3 now.
Oh, at 4, Frost at 3.
It's a tough weight.
That's good. Yeah,
All right.
That's fair. But I think honestly, the real matches that were key here were so Ekamandia kind of beats the crap out of Nasir Bailey. Really could have teched him. Nasir Bailey didn't look great.
It wasn't close.
Vinny Zerbin.
You skipping over 49?
Yeah. Oh, that was yeah. Beats number 2, but like we said, number 2 Pinheiro Johnson.
Yeah.
It's like I'm shocked to see that Pinheiro Johnson is number 2.
Yeah.
I'm shocked to see that.
I think Ryder Block has been another bright spot for Iowa. He isn't very dynamic in how he wrestles, but he's just a hard-nosed kid. Goes forward. He hand fights well. He's not going to let guys in on his legs very often. Like, he's got the Iowa style about him.
Yeah.
He's just going to win those close matches. You know who he reminds me of? 141 from a couple years ago. Max Mirren.
Max Mirren.
He reminds me of Max Mirren, a tall, long, lanky version of Max Mirren.
He's got to be better. Max Mirren was only a one-time All-American, right?
I don't know. He was always a top 10 kind of guy, though, every single year. So,
But beat number 2, totally sweet. So good for him. Vinny Zerbin, just looking great. Beats up Jordan Williams. I watched that match. That was great. Yeah, the lack, like we talked about, the lack of effort.
yeah, it's just like,
what are we doing?
how much money are you shelling out to these guys, too? That's like, it's not a good investment at this point.
Yeah, and like we were talking about on the way over here is like, with this NIL game, are coaches completely discouraged to throw in the backup at this point? Because I can imagine they've put a lot of money into Nasir Bailey, into a Jordan Williams. It's like, at some point, we got to throw in the backup, but you have so much money in there. Is that really discouraging these guys from doing that?
I mean, at some point, are you losing something like with the money that you've given them? Maybe. Are you going to lose potential investments further down the line because your team is not doing as well as people would have thought? Your hype's going down? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to do what's best for the team right now, like what Oklahoma State did. They're putting Ronnie Ramirez in.
Yep.
You know what I mean? At some point, you got to do what's best for the team right now. And
Yeah.
obviously, so far this season, Nasir Bailey, Jordan Williams are not best for their team right now.
Yeah. For sure.
Against that, though, Caliendo, good investment for Iowa.
A very bright spot for Iowa. There is like he's still looking great. Like a good guy coming out and teching, a guy who he's supposed to beat up, but still like, there were some close matches in these last few duels that we've seen. Angelo Ferrari beats Isaac Dean 2-1, right? They didn't necessarily look the greatest. He gets the win, which is impressive, but like Caliendo comes out and just torched this guy.
Yeah, no, I
Super
mean,
sweet.
I definitely think that that's just kind of how Ferrari wrestles. He's going to have close matches. That is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Match in, match out.
MJ Gayton beats number 2 Patrick Kennedy.
Yeah.
Sick.
It was.
You know where MJ Gayton's from?
No.
You know what state?
I could guess California.
Yeah, California.
Okay, yeah.
You know what city?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Temecula, California. That's where I grew up.
Oh.
I defected.
Does that mean that you beat Patrick Kennedy?
I'd like to take a little credit for it. Maybe I was responsible for the culture over there at Temecula.
When did you leave? Like 7th grade?
My second 8th grade year.
Your second 8th grade year. Oh, my bad.
I was a holdback, by the way.
Everyone
wondering.
knows. Everyone can tell.
For any holdback haters out there, I was one of the guys.
Dude, how's it feel to be going bald? The older you get, you're almost 30.
I'm trying.
You are like a 30-year-old going bald guy now.
Well, I'm 28. I'm turning 29 in like a few months. So
I know. I just added
the
to
30-year-old. It's not that insulting. I'm almost there. But no, it hurts.
It hurts.
It hurts. I don't want to go bald.
I know. You sent me a message the other day. You were pretty upset about it. I could tell.
It's these genetics, bro. It's not fair. It's not fair. The
Frickin' Bill.
the genetic lottery. You know, like my grandfather's bald, my dad's bald. It's like it's not going to be good. I knew it. I wanted to deny it.
I always
now
thought it
it's
was going to be
catching up.
Xander, but
Luca's
Luke is going bald for sure. I know
Luka's
that.
been going
Luke is
bald.
going to be the Krat type, going bald at freaking 22.
Well, Krat's one of the worst I've seen. He's got the Alex Marinelli hairline. But here, I'm gonna get the Alex Marinelli hairline soon.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
I can see it.
yeah. No disrespect to Marinelli, he beat me up a couple times.
He's got that bald head and kept bouncing it off your face.
But so Angelo Ferrari looked good, 2-1, and then Rocky Elam closes out the duel.
Do you think that they're watching that match? I don't know how Dean can. Obviously, there's a way, right? Anybody can be beat. Elam just looks so much longer. Like, and Dean was doing a good job reacting to shots, getting his other feet away, and it just didn't matter. Like, pulling the foot in.
Yeah, Rocky Elam. I think Rocky Elam is severely underestimated. I don't think he has clutch gene whatsoever. I watched him wrestle Bernie Truax at 197. I was the coach in the corner for it, and I really thought that Elam looked phenomenal in that match. And after watching it, I figured he could be an NCAA champ. But I just don't think that he has what it takes to perform very well at NCAAs. But because of that, people underestimate him. He's a much better wrestler than he leads on to believe at NCAAs, on the championship side at least. On the championship side, he looks very good on the backside of NCAAs for the most part.
I got a hot take right now.
Yeah.
I think the best 297s in the country right now are on one roster. Penn State.
Yeah.
I think that is a pretty weak weight class, honestly.
You think Mirasola is better than
I mean,
Rocky Elam?
I think he could beat him.
I don't know about that.
Really?
I don't know about that. Rocky Elam's
I'd like to see it.
and he's strong.
I'd like to see it because I definitely think you got 2 All-Americans on that roster right now, I think.
For sure, you get 2 All-Americans.
I mean, and Dean's 4.
Stephen Little down at 3.
Like, I definitely think that I think that is
Mirasola
something
for
that
sure.
could happen.
Mirasola is absolutely top 5.
So it's like,
Absolutely,
he's
top
there.
5. Yeah, that sucks, man. That sucks to be at least a top 5 guy, and you don't even make the lineup. That totally sucks. But yeah,
To our point about Iowa having a backup 41 or 57 that can probably compete with the 2 starters, I don't know.
Say it again.
We were talking about for Iowa, maybe another guy that could compete with Nasir Bailey at 41 or Jordan Williams at 57.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like,
I think Iowa has a good enough team they can throw in their backup, and he can comfortably be top 20, top 25. But
well, I mean,
yeah,
Voinovich isn't really a big upgrade,
not really.
right? I mean, I guess Cale Peterson maybe at 41, but
And to give credit to like Jordan Williams and Nasir Bailey, I do think that they're postseason warriors. They tend to shine in the postseason. They didn't last year, but in years prior they have. And you know what? Jordan Williams did look substantially better in the postseason last year than he did in regular season. Being a coach in the Pac-12, he looked a lot better. But I think as a coach, maybe you've got to know that, and you've got to hold them back from wrestling. You know, they went to the collegiate duels. Then they wrestle Iowa State right after. Like, you've got to know you're maybe not going to get the best out of Nasir Bailey and Jordan Williams. They're postseason warriors.
yeah. All right. Anything else about Iowa versus Iowa State? What did you think about that atmosphere? First time they've won in 21 years.
I bet it was totally sick. Looking at the crowd, it was incredible.
Yeah, and that's got to be awesome for Iowa State too. Like, that type of environment, just it's awesome. I wish that that they were having a conversation about like rivalries.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa versus Iowa State's like one of the most heralded ones.
It's good to see that the actual rivalry is back, because when we were in college, it really wasn't a rivalry.
No, I mean, the last 20 years it wasn't a rivalry.
No.
So
There were years where Iowa probably completely shut them out.
maybe this is a good segue into Wisconsin, but who do you think Wisconsin's biggest rival is for wrestling?
Minnesota.
Is it? That's what I would have said.
At least
Minnesota.